explain.
My name is Zachary Jackson Agaleto, and here's my story. I was raised not religious. My family was my mother and my brother, and my stepdad, and we were raised around drugs and drinking. And my brother later turned into gangs. My mother later divorced and got into methamphetamine. And me myself, I found myself doing methamphetamine at 11 years old, and marijuana, and smoking pot, smoking weed, stealing weed, and living up here in Awanga. And just lived out for years and years. It got worse. My brother, went off to prison, and my mother got worse on alcohol and things like that. And I ended up living on the streets in Denver, 18 years old, living on the streets in Denver after many jobs, many schools, getting kicked out of schools, and many different jobs, and never seemed to hold a job. I was a dysfunctional addict, and I did any drug that came along, any drug, ecstasy, heroin, crack cocaine, methamphetamine, and I found myself living on the streets of Denver. And for years, many years, 2 years, and shot heroin and cocaine. I like to shoot heroin and cocaine, and was panhandling for money. And I heard that my brother had changed his life from prison, and he gave his life to this person called Jesus. And I didn't understand it, and it didn't make sense to me, and I made fun of him. But later I heard that my mother changed her ways also and dropped all the drugs and the drinking and gave her life to this person, or this religious Christianity with this person Jesus. And then I remember on a day when I wanted to commit suicide. It was just terrible things were happening in my life, and I was just disappointed in my own life and where I'd become, that in tears, I was looking for a way to end my life, and in tears I remember this short prayer that I said, God, if you are real, I need you in my life. And from that day, circumstance of events happened that led me into a Christian rehab home, one that my brother had graduated, called Victory Outreach. I had stayed in there for a year in Watts on Grape Street, 95th and Grape Street, real rough neighborhood, and I got saved there and learned to read the Bible there and learned to pray there, and that was back in 2005. And this Christian life is not always as linear as I was hoping it to be, but God is always faithful, and He will never give up on you. And I just want to encourage anyone that my mother now is a hospital chaplain. And my brother is now a Christian minister, and he runs Christian rehab homes. And me, I'm a teacher of apologetics. And I just want to encourage anyone that's listening to my voice that there's always hope. If you trust in the Lord Jesus Christ, He can change your circumstance, He can change your life in a powerful way. And my name is Zachary. Thank you for letting me share my testimony with you.